Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. You know, in boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. And, Claressa Shields is someone who, after watching that Breakfast Club interview, I think I need to drop another one of them old school videos I used to do. You see, this thing about disrespecting Laila Ali and Muhammad Ali and continuing to talk about the Ali name, I don't know if people really understand, man, how big of a deal this is. This is a really big deal. It's bigger than boxing, man. Claressa is dropping the ball, people. She is making and has been making consistently colossal mistakes. And what she just did on that Breakfast Club was scary. To know that someone can conduct themselves like this and think that it's okay. Now, I've heard what people have said out here, family members, about Claressa Shields. And, I try to keep it boxing. But all I'll say is, I've heard what people have said about it. And I'm starting to feel like, that maybe some of that stuff is still lingering. Because you gotta be wacko jacko to come out here on a goddamn interview and continue to talk about Laila Ali and to even, you shouldn't even mention Muhammad Ali's name. You shouldn't even be mentioning Laila Ali's name. Laila is out there in the breeze. Not because, I'm a supporter of Muhammad Ali and a supporter of Laila Ali. I support Claressa as a fighter as far as, what she brings to the ring. But it's at a point now where I'm just telling you, man, I'm fucking annoyed. It's like, who's advising her? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand some of the stuff these people say on the internet. I saw something this morning. I'm like, that's just disgusting, right? What somebody was doing and saying. But they can do what they want. That ain't my style. But I understand the other people out here who just like, they don't care. They don't want nothing to do with it. I understand. Because I'm sitting here and I'm like, what is wrong with her? Anyway, so check this out here, right? Where is it? Right here. So let's get rid of me, and let's stretch this over, right? This is what it's about, man. Respect the legacy. This is bigger than boxing. Ali, that's what people are saying. When you talk about Laila Ali, all right, you're not just talking about a former champion stepping back into the conversation. You're talking about a name that carries weight far beyond boxing. Laila Ali represents legacy, structure, discipline, and a level of respect that has been built over decades, not just through her own undefeated record and career, but through the foundation laid by her father, may he rest in peace, Muhammad Ali. And this is where, my damn head just spins. How can anyone, especially a boxer, think it's okay to go at Muhammad Ali's daughter? What makes you think it's okay to keep going at Laila Ali? You can't win. And like KRS One said, you must learn. See, that's why a lot of people misunderstand what's really going on. When people say Laila Ali is protected, they're not talking about fear or favoritism. They're talking about the natural protection that comes from being tied to one of the most beloved human beings the world has ever seen. Do you guys understand that? Laila Ali is not normal, people. Yeah, she's normal. She's humble, the way she carries herself, but she's not normal. Muhammad Ali wasn't just a boxer. He was a symbol of courage, principle, and global unity. His name carries emotional value across generations, cultures, continents, industries outside of sports. So when Laila Ali speaks, moves, or is mentioned, that protection shows up in the form of respect from fans, media, business leaders, and the boxing community as a whole. Claressa Shields will never, ever win in anything when it comes to her going at Laila Ali. It's just something she can't win, and the way she's going about it, she's not going to win when it comes to the whole world and society when they look at her and see her and how they perceive her, but she's done it to herself. I didn't do it to her. These other content creators didn't do it to her. Laila didn't do anything to her. She's doing it to herself. She's creating her own misery. Self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. Today's lesson is self-destruction. It really is a rap audience. That's Bubba again. No, it's not the rap audience. It's not the hip-hop audience. It's not the boxing audience. You know who's bugging? Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields. Speaking of Claressa Shields, let's shift to Claressa Shields. It's important to be real and balanced about who she is and what she has accomplished. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just telling you, man, I find the way she's been conducting herself rather irksome. Because she's not just another fighter. One of the most decorated athletes in women's boxing. Skill set, confidence, accomplishments, willingness to speak boldly a part of what made her a dominant force in the sport. That level of confidence is necessary to reach the top, and it's part of her identity as a fighter. No one has a problem with that. No one has a problem with that when you're confining that to being a fighter. But see, here's where things start getting complicated, and where the conversation moves beyond the ring and into something much bigger. Strategy, perception, and long-term positioning. Keep that shit boxing. See, this when people want to come out here and justify it the way they behave and say, oh, well, I'm aggressive because I'm a fighter. Oh, well, I eat with my hands because I'm a fighter. Oh, I walk barefoot because I'm a fighter. Oh, I get out the shower to take a piss because I'm a fighter. That's bullshit. You do that by choice. Because you look at these other 98% of fighters, they don't do that. What's going on here, people, is all bad. I call it bad medicine. Medicine is supposed to make you feel good. It makes your condition even worse. It exacerbates things. Now, in today's boxing landscape, this thing about I'm a fighter. Man, please. Nah, that ain't it. Fighting ability alone is not enough. Fighters are brands. Every interview, every statement, every interaction becomes part of a larger narrative that shapes how the public, and more importantly, how decision makers see you. Sponsors, networks, promoters, and corporate partners are constantly evaluating not just talent, but alignment. And they're doing this most of the time unbeknownst to you. You have no idea these people are doing this. Everyone is always being evaluated. When you go out to the grocery store and you go to the mall, you go to the car dealership, you go to Hunan and Ying King to get fried rice and chicken wings or plenty duck sauce. Everywhere you go, you're being evaluated. They're asking themselves whether a fighter represents something they want to attach their name and money to. Just think about Claressa Shields. Who, what, when, where, why, how in the world, if you believe this, have you concluded that there are corporations that want to attach themselves to someone like Claressa Shields? And even if there was someone who's like, man, we kind of want to roll the dice on her. And then someone say, yeah, okay, yeah, she is a badass boxer. She does have the gold medals, championships. She's probably the best fighter right now. Yeah, we get it. Hey, let's go for it. And then someone's in the back is like, hey, man, like that guy Hood Champion says, hey, yo, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. Y'all see this shit? Was she out here disrespecting Muhammad Ali and Laila Ali? Hey, have you heard any of this? Joey. Haven't heard anything. Hey, let's take a look at it. Yeah, sure, we'll take a gander. And they go and look and see these videos and shit that's circulating. They're going to be like, oh, nah. Nope. They just move on, and she would never know the opportunity that was going to present itself. Door has closed. And this is where perception becomes just as powerful as performance. When a fighter repeatedly directs energy towards someone connected to a globally respected legacy, like the Ali name, it can create a complicated situation. Not necessarily because people are offended on a personal level, but because it introduced risk. Risk that brands and organizations are often unwilling to take. You think somebody wants to attach themselves to Claressa Shields, knowing that she's been directing foul energy towards somebody like Muhammad Ali and his child? Let's be real. Laila Ali's a big woman. But this daughter. She is his daughter. You have someone disrespecting her who has disrespected him, no matter if she feels she did or didn't. She's disrespected him. Muhammad Ali would never. Well, she must not have her father's, what'd she say, DNA or genetics or something she said. And he would have been doing this and that for Black Lives Matter, like all the shit she was saying. That's disrespectful as fuck. Okay? And you may say, damn, Hood Champion, man, you said that emphatically. No, because I want to make sure that I underscore, I put a little bit of emotion in that. That's crazy, people. Crazy. When people have deceased, you gotta just leave that alone. And if you want to talk about it in a positive way and uplift and put a smile on our face just remembering what a person brought to the world. Even if you had somebody who just made a whole lot of mistakes in life, you got to be one or two nice things we can talk about. But when a person's passed away, to me, you let that go. But she did not do it that way. And no matter how she tried to come out here and play cleanup in, Muhammad Ali, he's the greatest, and to me, I'm right behind him because he's the greatest black woman. Madness, people, madness. Can't come out here disrespecting this man, going at his daughter. She's an extension of him. That's crazy. So, again, creates a very complicated situation for people who may want to work with you. And let me tell you something, it's not necessarily because people are offended on a personal level when it comes to business. Because when it comes to business, they say, hey, it's not personal, it's just business. Like when they fire your ass from a job, or you say, hey, I'm tired of this job. And they're like, hey, we need 2 weeks notice here, we need our goddamn fortnight. What's this here, Louis? You're like, this is my ass, kiss it, I'm out of here. So it ain't never personal, but it introduces risk. And Claressa Shields and the way she conducts herself and the way she's disrespected the Ali name, herself, and just damn near everything that brands want to be represented, they're not willing to take that risk. Simple, people. What makes this even more important is understanding how opportunities actually work in boxing. Contrary to what many believe, doors don't usually slam shut in dramatic fashion. There's no announcement, no warning, no clear moment where everything changes. Instead, doors close quietly. Phone calls slow down. Invitations stop coming. Have we noticed anything where invitations have slowed down, or where there were a lot of different female fighters showed up at things, and all of a sudden we're not seeing the go. And believe you me, it's going to be even more of that. negotiations don't go as far as they once did, if there were any real negotiations. Now, Claressa did come on, she called in, and I listened to her. All I can do is trust what she says. I can't verify anything. But when she says she's had a lot of different people contact her about endorsement deals and sponsorships, and she knows her value and the money wasn't right, and she said she had dozens. Maybe I should have played the damn clip for y'all, for those who don't know. But the bottom line, often the fighter's left wondering what changed or why things aren't happening for me. Well, it's simple. That's why Claressa's talking about it. There's no one going to be coming after her. No one going to want to work with her. No one's going to want to attach her to their brand. No one's going to want to have her representing their goddamn company. Nothing. And look, if anyone's saying, oh, I heard you hating on her. No, I'm not. It's the fucking truth, man. Why would you? Okay, how about you, McNicholas? Why in the hell would you want? You had this big billion-dollar company, a multi-million-dollar company, right? Shit worth all this money. Why would you want to bring her on and give her anything? From gloves to shoes to athletic wear to anything. Why would you want her to be out there being the face of your company? Because that's basically what these people are. They're extensions of the company. And I'm just asking. I'm telling you, there's no way in the world I want to do it. I don't have to know that she's out here talking about, I'm snatching, I'm this, and oh, this cat got low miles, and you see this lobster tail, pap, 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 pap. I don't need to hear that, right? I don't need to hear that chaotic bullshit. All I need to hear is, she said, what? Yeah, she was Muhammad Ali's daughter or something. I'm like, what's going on? Oh, she's a fighter. They fight. I mean, shit, let them go at it. No, man. She said this and that about, this is how she mentioned Muhammad Ali's name. I'm like, oh, she's mentioned his name? I'd be like, that's it. Just say no more. I don't need to hear no more. You know why? Because the reality of the business side of things, from boxing to endorsements to sponsorships, those people who are the key decision makers operate in silence. And by the time people notice the shift, the momentum's already moved the other direction. And I 100% believe the momentum has already moved the other direction when it comes to Claressa Shields. And there are some low-hanging fruit that her and her team are picking up. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But as far as getting up there to the top of that tree where they got that sweet, juicy mango, yeah, ain't gonna get up there. You got to understand that the center of this situation is not simply a disagreement between two fighters, but a clash between legacy and modern dominance. Laila Ali represents a foundational era of women's boxing, an era where visibility had to be built from the ground up. Claressa Shields represents the evolution of that foundation, bringing skill, accolades, and global recognition in a new era. Claressa Shields is a name that is bubbling right now. And I'm not saying it's bubbling for the right reasons or the wrong reasons, but it's bubbling, right? Because we're talking about it. But the bottom line is both positions are important, or both can coexist. But when the conversation turns into conflict, which it always does with Claressa Shields, the public tends to gravitate towards legacy. Laila Ali, la 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 la. Especially when that legacy is tied to someone as universally respected as Muhammad Ali, Laila Ali, the Ali last name, Muhammad, Boumaye. That doesn't mean Claressa's accomplishments disappeared, okay? Because what she's accomplished. But it does mean the perception battle becomes much harder to control because of her antics and toxic ways overshadow all the great things that she's done, and we don't even see it anymore. You got to dig real deep. You got to get a shovel to start taking that goddamn pounds and pounds and mountains of shit she's thrown on top of her accomplishments to see all the great things she's done. Because all she gives us is shit to look at, shit to smell. And I'm not going to say shit to taste because I don't know what shit tastes like, but I would think shit tastes like shit. Another key factor in all of this is emotional decision making versus strategic thinking. In boxing, look, emotions are part of the sport. Confidence, pride, and even confrontation can sell fights and build narratives. You need a little bit of you don't need only controversy and confrontation. You need a little bit. Terrence Crawford called in. He kicked some knowledge, and I'm tracking with what he's saying. I do think controversy helps, right? I thought he was. I agree with him 100% on that. But this is the issue. When emotions begin to override strategy, that's when fighters can unintentionally put themselves in difficult positions. Claressa's done that. She said she's trying now not to respond to everything, right? So Claressa has consistently allowed her emotions to override any strategy from her PR team, her promoter, her manager, from anyone who cares about her outside the ring, and also to override that inside the ring. Good example, her, Franchon Cruz, day of the weigh-in, most recent fight, all hell broke loose because Claressa's emotions overrode strategy. And she was put in a difficult position, and even today, she's still in that uncomfortable position because Franchon Cruz and her team, something seems to be brewing, and fans haven't let that shit go. Look, mentioning Laila Ali is one thing. Continuously tying that conversation back to Muhammad Ali's name is something else entirely, because now the conversation expands beyond competition and into symbolism. Claressa and her team don't think about this. They more look at it, and this is my opinion. I don't think, so let me say that correctly. I don't think they think about this. I think it's more like, let's get under their skin. This is mental warfare. We need to try to get a fight. If we can't get the fight, let's at least mention her name because it creates a buzz, gets people talking about you. And you may say, well, yo, hood champion, hold your horse. Where you get that from? Because I talked to her. It ain't no secret. And I asked her about that. She said, look, it's mental warfare. I was just trying to get a fight. So I tend to believe that carries over to where we are today, to where she knows these are things I can do that's going to create a buzz. And yeah, I may not get that fight with Laila, because according to Claressa, man, please, she turned down 15 million. The 15 million was that she didn't really want to fight. She's scared. She's a witch. She's a witch. Hocus pocus. Hocus pocus. Abracadabra. She's a witch. Oh. Man, please. Just leave the Alis alone. Do your thing and just stop. Because symbolism carries weight that can influence how fans, media, and business entities interpret what's being said. Public perception is not a small factor in boxing. It's a driving force. Different audiences will interpret the same situation in completely different ways. Some will see confidence and boldness, while others will see unnecessary escalation. Franchon Cruz, the weigh-in, unnecessary escalation. And in a sport where opportunities are often influenced by how a fighter is received outside the ring, those interpretations matter. They can shape narratives, influence decisions, and ultimately impact the trajectory of a career. None of this means that Claressa Shields' future is sealed or that opportunities are completely out of reach. What it does mean is that every move from this point forward carries more weight. I personally think those doors are closed. They're not going to open up. But at the same time, hey, I don't know, right? But I just feel, man, I'll tell you, let me just say it differently. I think a lot of opportunities are sealed and completely out of reach right now. But she's got to do something dramatic. I mean, she's got to pull a George Foreman and disappear and come back and just totally reinvent herself. But I don't even think that's going to be enough, because when George Foreman left and came back, he wasn't someone out here doing what she's doing, disrespecting in the most nasty way Laila and Muhammad Ali. And remember, even when George and Muhammad Ali were going back and forth, and he basically was trying to, kill him in the ring, rumble in the jungle, Muhammad Ali was alive. He and George had a rivalry, and they were fighters going back and forth. Muhammad Ali is, may he rest in peace, he's passed away. You have somebody who's disrespecting one of the most beloved human beings that ever walked the face of the earth, just so they can try to line their pockets with some stinking ass money, them and their team. I don't respect that. But at the end of the day, adjustments can always be made. Narratives can always shift. But those changes require awareness, strategy, and a clear understanding how the business side of boxing operates, how these corporations operate. Because at the highest level, success is not just about winning fights. It's about managing relationships, maintaining a strong public image, and making decisions that position your long-term growth. And at the core, this entire situation comes down to one fundamental truth. In boxing, respect is more than a personal value. It's a form of currency. Yeah, I would say that. It's a form of currency, man. It influences how fighters are perceived, how opportunities are presented, and how careers evolve over time. When legacy, branding, and competition intersect, the fighters who last the longest are the ones who understand how to navigate all three. And right now, that's the real story unfolding. Not just who said it, but what it means for the future of women's boxing, the business behind it, and Claressa Shields. And let me just say this right. Because somebody hit me up, and we were talking. And I'm going to say this. Doors have closed. It will continue to close on Claressa Shields. Big money making opportunities, ship will continue to sail. These vicious attacks on Laila Ali is just crazy to me, man. And there is a growing concern about the life expectancy of Claressa Shields' boxing career. People are convinced she'll never have an opportunity to represent any significant brand or companies because of her relationship, attitude, and disrespect towards, the child of the most loved man in the world, one of the most beloved men in the world, Muhammad Ali. I just wonder how her team, they don't see what I see. You know what I'm saying? They got to see that what they're doing is bad medicine. How can anyone think it's okay to disrespect one of the most beloved human beings that ever walked the earth, man? And when it comes to boxing, the face of boxing, the greatest of all time. You got to be mentally ill. You got to be wacko jacko. And especially for a fighter to think that it's okay to campaign with disrespect towards the Ali family. I mean, at this point, the shit's just beyond disgusting and concerning. And I 100% believe it snatched the attention of politicians, religious leaders, owners of sporting leagues, and of course, all key players in and around the sport of boxing. I believe it 100%. Claressa Shields and the labels that she's earned. Those adjectives people use to describe her are not very nice. But she continues to disrespect everyone and just, conduct herself in a kind of way that just doesn't... I just say she just turns people off, man. And I understand, because I got a lot of patience, but Lord have mercy. It's crazy. But you know what? When you disrespect someone like Laila and the perception that you disrespected Muhammad Ali, I tell you what, I put it this way. When you disrespect Muhammad, you disrespect his children, and you're disrespecting him. If you disrespect him, then you disrespect the whole world. If you disrespect the whole world, then the world becomes uninhabitable because you will receive the same energy put out. It doesn't matter. Laila Ali can be 60 years old. She will always be defended. Always be defended. Society, these religious leaders, and let's not forget the Nation of Islam. Not everyone is loud, but they make a different kind of noise that can't be heard, but can be felt. Large corporations and other opportunities will never embrace a person like Claressa Shields. I just don't see it. The more I think about it, I just don't see it. And to be honest, I don't think she has enough time to change because to me, she has just done irreparable damage to herself. I mean, if you take away the 2 gold medals, what do you have? Like, honestly, take away the 2 gold medals, what do you have with Claressa Shields? That's what I'm asking. What do you have? Anyway, y'all keep cool. I'm about to go. One of my sons stayed home today, but we about to go chill. But I'm going to tell you again, it's not just about what happens in the ring. It's not just about what happens in the ring. It's about respect, legacy, and business. It's about attitude, man. Attitude. Anyway, very deep consequences when legacy and modern greatness collide. And that's why Claressa Shields right now, especially after that interview, man, on the Breakfast Club. That was the most disgusting interview I've ever seen. I just don't understand people. But I ain't trying to understand it. I'm trying to go chill with my son and get some fried rice and chicken wings. Y'all keep cool. In the breeze.